Good morning, class. So at this point we're busy with functions. This is which page are we on now?
170.
Did I give you homework?
Yes, sir.
You say always as if you are sent. Did I give you everyday homework? Hey, you. Start believing the lies you tell yourself, you. Huh? Right, here we go. Listen, the homework. Was exercise 8.3. We did all of this, no? So we're number 2 now. 8.3, number 2. You need to check something quickly. Alright, so today we need to draw exponential graphs as well. This is number 2 and this is on page 170. Shukran. So the first equation was y equal y equal to 12 over x. Y is equal to 12 over x. Okay, so firstly the shape of the graph, you know it's positive, so it's lying in 1 and 3. Not so. Then we work out the x-intercept. What do you do for x-intercept? Then y equal to 0. So you got 0 is equal to 12 over x, you cross multiply. So 0 is equal to 12. So what does that mean? No solution. Or no x-intercept. That's basically what it means. Then we go y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? When x is equal to 0. So we go y is equal to 12 over 0. Again, no solution. So no y-intercept. So if we draw this graph, we know that the x-intercept is 0 and the y-intercept. The graph now cut to x or your y-axis. So what do? I need to generate at least another point on the graph. So what do we do now? Let x equal to 1. If x equal to 1, y is equal to 12 over 1, which is 12. So this point is 1 and 12. If x is 1, y is 12. We know the graph lies in quadrant 1 and 3. The graph will never cross this axis here. It comes close, as I showed you in the graph yesterday. It comes very close, but doesn't touch the graph. Okay. Let's look at the domain of this graph. What is the domain? What's the domain? What is domain? All possible x values, not so. So if you're looking at this graph here, does this graph exist at negative infinity on your x? Yes. Positive infinity? Yes. I'm going to get a calculator away quickly. I'm drawing very close to the end of the board there. So yes, the graph was negative infinity and positive infinity. So what do we write for that? X is an element or real numbers. Can x be equal to 0? No. Why? It's an asymptote. So my domain is X an element of all real numbers, X is just not equal to 0. Okay. What's the range of this graph? What's the range? The range is all possible y values. Does this graph exist in negative infinity? Yes. Positive infinity? Yes. So, y is an element of all real numbers. Y is just not equal to 0. Again, asymptote, which is your x-axis. You see that, people? Is this an increasing or decreasing graph? As x increases, what happened to the graph? The graph is decreasing. So what type of graph is this? Decreasing. Yes! It's a decreasing graph. Why? Because as x increases, the value of y is decreasing. What else did we ask you? Is it? Turning point, no turning point. Axosymmetry. Now, you see there's an axosymmetry on this graph. What's an axosymmetry? It's basically a line that the graph will be a mirror image in that line, in other words. Not so. So if you consider a line going through here, can you see that? If I fold this graph closing this line, then that part of the graph will fall exactly onto that part. Not so. There's another line of symmetry, a line that's going through like that. This part of the graph, if I fold this graph closing this line here, then that part of the graph will fall exactly onto that part, whilst this will fall exactly onto that. Can you see that? There's two lines of symmetry. The rise and the run, as you can see, there is going to be the same, or you've got an angle of inclination of 45 degrees there. So, that lines of symmetry, the one being y is equal to minus x, and this here one is going to be y is equal to x. So that is the equations of the axis of symmetry. Write that down. Equations of the axis of symmetry. Hyperbola is 2. Okay. Then the one question I always ask you is f of x equal to 0? Is f of x less than 0? Is f of x more than 0? Not so. For this one here, we're going to keep it simple since you're a little baby still. Grade 10. So, we're not going to do more than and equal to. It's just more than or less than. Okay. So, let's go. Take this Mickey Mouse off here. So, the y is equal to 0 line is this line here, not so? Is there any part of the graph that's going through that line? Huh? No. So? Is it? So what did I say? No. Oh, no? So, no solution. For f of x is greater than 0, that means you say f of x must be more than 0. Or above that line, not so. So any part of this graph is above the line. Yes, this whole part of that graph is above the line. Not so. In other words, x must be more than 0. Can you see that? For x is more than 0, you will satisfy that. Which f of x less than 0 is this part of the graph here. So we say x must be. You guys understand? And I can't believe it's so easy. No? I can't make it easier than this. Alright. Okay, we'll do another one. Right, what is the next one?
X squared minus 4.
X squared minus 4. Where is it? Xy is equal to negative 8. Huh? Did I give you my own sums? Now what's she talking about? Did I draw my own? Come on. Aren't we doing hyperbolas?
Yes.
Right. What's the next one I must draw? Xy is equal to? Negative 8. So we divide by x on its own. Why? Because I want y as the subject of the formula. So I'm drawing the graph. Y is equal to negative 8 over x. So when we start, the shape of the graph. Not so. What can we say about a shape of this graph? It's going to lie in quadrant 2 and 4. Remember, it's negative now. What we do thereafter, x-intercept. We let y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to negative 8 over x. Cross multiply, 0 is equal to negative 8. So therefore, no x-intercept. It does not cut the x-axis. Now we go, y-intercept. What do you do for y-intercept? Let x equal to 0. So y is equal to negative 8 over 0, which is again undefined. No y-intercept. So we would like to generate a point on this graph, because why? We know the graph can look like that, it can look like that, it can come close, right? So by letting x equal to 1 or generating another point on this graph, then we can basically have a better idea what's happening to this graph. You guys understand? So what do? We let x equal to 1. So we let x equal to 1, take this out here. So we say let x equal to 1. So y is equal to negative 8 over 1, which is negative. So this coordinate is 1 and negative 8. X is 1, y is negative 8. Rock out close, but does not touch. And we just reflect the graph thing. Okay. Any confusion? Right. Let's look at the first question. Domain. I want you guys to write down the domain, the range, increasing or decreasing, with f of x equal to 0, f of x less than 0, f of x more than 0. Okay? We have 2 minutes and I need to do one where the graph has shifted. Okay, so what's the domain of this graph? X is an element of all real numbers. X is not equal to 0, as going to negative infinity, positive infinity. Your range goes to negative y and positive y. So y is an element of all real numbers. Y is not equal to 0. Increasing or decreasing? The graph is increasing. There's the increasing function. Okay. Where's f of x equal to 0? No solution. Where's f of x less than 0? You see here? Where's f of x below this line? This whole part here is below the line, not so. In other words, x must be more than 0. And as you can see here, this part is above the graph, above the line. So x is. Do you guys understand? Okay. Am I going to do one where minimum, this one, e. It's 10x, 10 over x minus 5. Did I ask you to draw that one? 10 over x minus 5. Y is equal to 10 over x minus 5. Okay. I asked you to do this one. Huh? Yes. Okay. So where do we start? Shape. Yes. Where's this graph going to lie? Quadrant? 1 and 3. Right. Next. X-intercept. What do you do for x-intercept? Y equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 10 over x minus 5. You take it over. 5 is equal to 10 over x. Over 1, we cross multiply. So 5x is equal to 10. So x is equal to 1. Did you guys draw it like this or you use the table? Like this? Nice. Nice. Or 2. You're absolutely correct. Correct, I'm wrong. Y-intercept, sorry. Y-intercept, we let x equal to 0. So y is equal to 10 over 0 minus 5. So, no y-intercept. There's negative 10 here. I'm hearing somebody saying negative 10, negative 10. Is it right? Okay. What do I do now? Do I need to let x equal to 1? No, because I have enough information. But if you're that kind of girl that needs to know, you put a 1 in, no problem. Okay. So let's draw. So y new x. The first thing I draw in is my horizontal asymptote. What's the equation of the horizontal asymptote? Y is equal to negative 1. Okay, you all agree with that? Bring it a bit lower. How low can you go? Right. Now what? What do we do now? X-intercept. The x-intercept is at 2. Bang. 2. Now people, this is now quadrant 1 to us, and this is now quadrant 2. You guys understand? So, I forgot to do the axis of symmetry on the other one. Other equation. Right, so the graph will come through here. It comes close to the y-axis but doesn't touch. Same with y is equal to negative 5. And on the side as well. And there's the graph of y equals 10 over x minus 5. Any confusion, people? No confusion? Right. First question. What is the... now I want you guys to answer the domain. Or did you guys answer this already? Huh? No. Okay, so I'll give you a chance now. Domain range. Increasing or decreasing. Where's f of x equal to 0? Where's f of x less than 0? Where's f of x more than 0? They ask you one of it. No, not all of it. Then... the equation of the axis of symmetry of both graphs. Okay. And they're both equations for the axis of symmetry. Okay. Okay, what's the domain of this graph? X is an element of all real numbers. X is not equal to 0. Range. Y is an element of all real numbers. Y is not equal to 0. Does this graph go to negative infinity? Yes. So from negative infinity all the way to positive infinity this graph exists. Not so. Besides negative 1. So x is in, for your range. Y is an element of all real numbers. Y is not equal to negative 1. You see the difference there? Okay. Is this an increasing or decreasing graph? Decreasing. Where is f of x equal to 0? X is equal to 2. Can you see that? That y is equal to 0 line. So is that 2? Where is f of x less than 0? You all should agree. Let's take this out here. So now we're going to look where the graph is. Where is f of x less than 0? If you ask where is f of x, this is actually f of x. No? Just putting it there so that some of you are going to think, where does f of x come from? This is actually f of x equals 10 over x minus 1. That's the in functional notation. Okay. So where is f of x less than 0? It means to say where the graph is below this line here. Can you see that, people? And where is that the case? It's here. This part is less than 0, not so? And this part of the graph here as well. So in other words, x must be more than 2. Or x must be less than. For which values of x would that be? X will be less than. What's your x value here? 0. Your y value is negative 5. So in other words, x must be less than 0. Where is f of x more than 0? Is this part here of the graph, not so? So it's from 0 till 2. Can you see that, people? So here we'll have x is greater than 0 but less than. But the equation of the axis of symmetry, of course, that one graph is going through like that. And what's the equation of that line? Y is equal to minus x. And the one going through like that is y is equal to x. Those are the two equations for the axis of symmetry. Okay? Any confusion there? Then I gave you I know I gave you the rest of that to draw as well. But I gave you an exponential graph to draw. No? What was the equation of that exponential graph I gave you? Did I give you exponential graphs to draw? I think that was the day before, on Monday, over the weekend I gave it to you to do. $7.5. So we did parabolas. Which page was that on? Page 150. Okay, from here you guys could have sorted this out, no? Or do you have a problem drawing this graph?
Yes.
Okay. Did I cut this already for the Power lesson. I think I cut it already. Yeah, here's it, no? You had to do number 3.
Yes.
Alright. I'm going to get a grid in a Cartesian plane quickly. Okay, we'll start tomorrow with that one, okay? So, as part of your homework, what I want you guys to do is to work out, in the meantime, your x-intercept and the y-intercept of your exponential graphs, okay? This comes from exercise 8. Which exercise over that? It's 8.3, no? Was it 8.4? 8.3. I want you guys to do number 3. We'll work out along the x-intercept, the y-intercept, and try and draw the graphs, okay? If you can't draw it, it's fine. At least you've done the calculation for tomorrow's lesson, okay? So it's going to be, whoops. 8.3 number 3, and do number 4 as well. For number 4,
Your attention please. 12B, can you please report to Miss Benjamin's classroom for your substitution lesson? 12B, to report to Miss Benjamin's classroom for your substitution lesson for Miss Jackson. Thank you.
okay, for number 3, you'll see here, that's now your exponential graph. Now, some of you are having problems with. However, in number 4, it's all the graphs, the combination of it, okay? So the hyperbola, parabola, and the straight lines is also given in number 4 as well as the exponential graphs, okay? So you guys are going to do number 3 as far as you can, and number 4, most of it you can draw. People enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning, class. Wa alaikum salam.